This Walkman can do something that most of them can't. It can play without headphones. That's right, it actually has a built-in speaker in the back, and it sounds pretty good too. So let's check out this fully boxed, complete and serviced WM-F66. Hello and welcome back to another video, and in this one we're looking at this real gem. It's quite a rare WM-F66. It's packed absolutely full of features, and I'm lucky enough to have this one boxed, complete, and I've previously serviced it. So I think it'll be a really great opportunity to take a look over the box, get it out and have a go with all the features. Okay, so the first thing to do, let's take a look at the box. So here we go, Sony WM-F66 Walkman. It's an FM AM stereo, so whenever you get a Walkman and it's got the F before a number, it means there's a built-in radio. And it's saying, yeah, so it's a cassette recorder, and then that's just in a different language, built-in AM FM stereo tuner, stereo recording capability possible. It's got Dolby noise reduction system for playback, which is good, and the built-in speaker that I mentioned. Now, flipping onto the back, I think it does a slightly better job of showing you what the contents are, although I think they missed a trick by not showing the reverse with the speaker. But anyway, we can see here we've got the built-in tuner with the frequency. We have this 1-point stereo microphone, so it's like a clip-on mic, so we'll try kind of speaking and talking into that and seeing what the quality is like. We've got a like a band selector switch, so we can choose between mono and stereo, a DC jack in at the bottom. We've got the speaker on the reverse, a speaker switch here, battery LED, the Dolby noise reduction, the external jack, the tape selector, function selector, and the headphones that are supplied. Now, one thing it doesn't really point out too well up here is that it actually also has a record function. So not only can we kind of speak into the microphone, I know it kind of makes sense, like why would you have a microphone if you can't record? But yeah, it has the record function, so you can record from the microphone or record from the radio. Okay, so we've had a look at the box. Let's open it up and look at the contents. A little bit battered, this box, but they're so hard to come across. So we've got the box, like a blister case here, and it's on a cardboard backing. So I take that off. A little bit of styrofoam on the back as well. So let's start with the headphones then. It's these fold-up types. On the side it says, I'll zoom you in. So it says Sony Dynamic Stereo Headphones, and the part number is MDR-A10. Look at that, it's got turbo written on the side. You know, you can just imagine how big the speakers are in here, and they've got the nerve to say that something's got turbo in it, and then obviously they just flip out and yeah, pointing backwards like that. So there's my headphones, and moving on to the microphone. So no, it's a stereo microphone. Yeah, I was just double checking because we've got grills on both sides here. We've got a small clip on the back, and you know, the jack here as well. So that's quite nice. Moving on to the Walkman. So this was released in the 80s. I can't remember the exact year of it. I think it was the mid 80s. It's quite a chunky old thing. Plastic build with kind of metallic like decoration for the buttons. But we've got, as mentioned, it shows us more clearly here that it's for recording. We've got our frequencies here. So we've got AM, mono and stereo on the selector there. That all moves quite nicely. And then over here we've got tape, just tape and the radio being off and the radio there. Up on the top, play, fast forward, rewind, stop, and our record button and batteries. We've got on this version here, we've still got the It's a Sony sticker, which is really nice. What have we got on the side? So on the side we have, so up at the top we've got the Dolby noise reduction. We can have that on or off. We have the microphone, plug-in power. We've got our headphones out, so our mics are going to go there, our headphones are going to go there. Then we've got our type of cassettes. We've got normal or metal, and then finally we've got our volume. We've got our volume switch here. Looking at the rear, got a few more things. So first of all, this one's got the belt clip. You just do that if you want to remove your belt clip. We have our speaker, so on or off, and here's our speaker housing. And then battery wise, looks like we're going to be taking two AA's. Nothing on the far side. On the bottom we have just the information with a power jack in, and then we have the ISS 123. I think that's something, I'd have to look it up, but it's like when you record from the radio, it has like a certain, it was something to do with recording from the radio and timing or something like that. Someone can remind me what that is, but I don't think it's too important for this. And then finally we've got just the internal parts of it. So that's a look over that. So let's move on to some of the features, and I think we could probably start with the simplest side, which will just be, let's try and have a listen to the radio and the headphones, and then we'll check out the speaker. Quite a snug fit on the battery bay. Right, so what we'll do is we'll pop in our headphones, and they go in the green bits we've already identified. And then what we can do is we'll turn the radio on, and we can see we have the battery light comes on. Turn that down a little bit. Let's just tune this in using, where was the tuner? Oh, so the tuner is here. Some decent volume coming out of there. Mono gets rid of all that hiss. So let's try the AM. You can hear there, I think that's like 5 Live or something. There's a bit of sports commentary coming through. I think if I unroll the cable, you might get slightly better signal. And so what we should do now, I guess, is pop it over to the speaker and see if we can hear anything on there. So let's put it back into the stereo, turn the volume down. And for that, we're gonna now flip the switch that was at the back of the device. So let's turn that on. And now we'll turn on the radio again.
Leave me this way. And that
So there we go, that's the speaker now.
Is a wrap on our most wanted playlist for this evening. You can have a say though in what
You can really get it quite loud.
request to me, Jackie, J-A-C-K-I-E.
And I think, yeah, one thing to point out is, you know, with a lot of Walkmans, these act as the aerials, you're actually able to listen to the speaker without your headphones plugged in, which is really nice. So that's pretty cool. Now let me grab one of my tapes, and we'll do a tape and we'll listen, make sure that's all working fine. And we'll also give us an opportunity to try some of that Dolby noise reduction as well, see if we spot a difference. Okay, so I just use this generic hits of 88 for testing. Just do small amounts so it's under fair use and I won't get struck with a copyright strike. So pop that in, press play. Not too bad. We've got fast forward and rewind. On this one, the buttons are quite soft touch. You know, with a lot of Walkmans, you get that kind of quite firm click. On these, they're more, it's kind of a soft, spongier type feel. Good tune. Right, yeah, and then rewind. And so, yeah, let's check out the difference of the Dolby noise reduction on and off. So this is off and on. It definitely does work at the expense of a bit of range, I guess. But in terms of its playback, because you don't have an equalizer at all, I'd suggest it's a little bit on the tinny, isn't it? So that's the functions on the top, the basic ones, the radio on both the speaker and the headphones, the Dolby noise reduction. Pretty much we now want to have a look at one of the second nice functions of this, which is the built-in record function on both the radio, and then we'll try it with the microphone. For that, I was going to record over one of these old tapes, but I thought, you know what, let's treat ourselves. I've still got one of these sealed Sony cassettes, so I'm going to be taking that out the shrink wrap, and I'm actually using this blank cassette. And this was quite a moment back in the day. You know, when you buy a pack of them, they weren't that cheap, were they? You know, you get a pack of these, and you know, to get a fresh one out was a real treat. So yeah, this is a blast from the past, because I was usually recording over the old ones. So here we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Look at that, crisp. Absolutely immaculate. Oh, in there. Do you remember those? You get your labels for sticking on for your to say what your A and B sides had on, and a blank one was there, and then you'd write in all your information on there. That's a lovely little touch, isn't it? So we'll pop side A in face up, and let's see if we can record whatever is on the radio. So there's side A. And in fact, what I will point out is, although you can use it without the headphones, listen to the difference now. So this is just using its internal tuner. Then I pop this in. You do get a lot better signal coming through with those. So that might be actually worth using. Okay, so we've got something. Let's record. Okay, so yeah, I tried moving the volume up and down. What do we think? Is that going to impact the volume that it records at? I'm not entirely sure. That was me changing the frequency.
Greatest Hits Radio. Picture this, the first single to be released from Blondie's seminal album Parallel Lines with the late great Clever.
I'm going to take a punt and say, when you change the volume when you're recording, it doesn't seem to change the actual recording level when it's on speaker. Okay, but it's good to see that works. So the next thing that we can try this, wouldn't this be cool to have this little external stereo mic? Pop that in here. Okay, so this is a test of the Sony Walkman WM-F66 cassette player with the stereo microphone, and also with the built-in speakers. So this is a test to see what the performance of the stereo microphone's like. Okay, so we gave that a go. Let's go through the speaker, because then obviously it's just easier for you to hear. Okay, so this is a test of the Sony Walkman WM-F66 cassette player with the stereo microphone, and also with the built-in speakers. So this is a test to see what the performance of the stereo microphone's like. And I tell you what, I've got to say the quality of that microphone's actually pretty good. So I think that was all the functions. Give me a second, I'm just going to gather my thoughts and give you my final review of it. Okay, so that was a complete look at what I would consider to be quite a rare Sony Walkman, especially boxed and complete with all the accessories like I've got right here. And I'm not entirely sure why. I think it's possibly because when you just see the aesthetics like that, it's just like, you know, it's okay looking, but it doesn't have that classic 80s look that people go for now. But I'm just wondering if back in the day, the fact that it did have that speaker, so it gives you the ability to listen to your own, but then in a group without having to carry any, to do that kind of public listening, you know, the cliches by the pool, but we're talking more maybe just the house party or something, you put it down, or an event. Maybe even because of its looks, it bridges between that kind of casual look, but maybe even a professional setting, especially with the looks of these. You know, that doesn't look like a gimmick. It looks like something you could use within an office environment. So for me, it looks like something with the Dolby noise reduction, the speaker, and all that kind of stuff that could be like a little bit of a jack of all trades for some business, some pleasure, some personal use, some group use. And I'm just surprised there's not more about. And like I say, possibly just because of the looks and collectors generally go for more of that real retro 80s type look compared to this. But what do you think? Do you remember having this, or are there any other models that have the speakers built in like this, or was this the only one? I'm not really sure. But yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you like retro tech, I've got a playlist. I'll link it up here that you'll love. It's got loads of retro audio. There's loads of Walkmans. There's loads of hi-fis and things like that. Alternatively, there's another video that will pop up here that you'll really enjoy as well, and I'll see you over there if you choose that one. In the meantime, if you've liked the video, enjoyed it, learned anything, please feel free to like the video or subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out. And until the next one, all the best, take care, and see you.